Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Kiss by Starlight. I'm just bringing through a few messages from your guides, your helpers, those beautiful beings in the unseen realms or the seen realms, depending on how you are able to experience them and their messages. So we are just asking now for some clear messages to bring through. And straight away, we've got a message of life speeding up. So, whatever it is, maybe recently it's felt like things haven't been going as fast as you'd like. Well, if that's the case, now you're going to see them speed up. This next phase is going to be completely different. And I just get this sense of you becoming a lot more aware of things that you haven't been aware of before. So perhaps you've been seeing spirit, perhaps you've been seeing messages from your guides and helpers all around, perhaps you've been seeing the beautiful beings, these animal beings showing up in your world and trying to pass messages to you, which maybe you may or may not have been understanding what they've been trying to say to you, but there's this sense that they've been communicating with you. And I have a feeling that for some of you that you've actually been understanding this communication. We've been experiencing the natural world in such amazing, well, it's as if the 5D is really here. When we go out into nature now and we're experiencing, the animals, the birds, the trees, it's as if there's this really strong communication now going on, this sense of us all coming into right relationship with each other, living alongside each other. And perhaps you've been experiencing this out on your nature walks or your own sort of daytime realities. But I just want to bring through a couple more messages and see how life is going to be speeding up and what particularly our guides and helpers would like us to know. And it's interesting because the deer are coming through really, really strongly. We've got the reindeer. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. So again, it's another confirmation of things, the wheel turning and the next phase actually coming in. There's this sense of fruit and abundance coming in for some of you. So whatever these projects or these situations, this relationship, these things you've been working on, the thing that you've been asking about, you're going to see this actually begin to bear fruit. You're going to see the rewards from this situation as it now begins to speed up. So whatever work you've been putting in, whatever's been going on, and I get the feeling that there has been a lot going on. There's been a lot of change. There's been a lot of transformation, and I see you stepping into a leadership role in some way. So again, whether this is a situation at work or this is a project that you've been working on, or perhaps a relationship you've been putting a lot of time and energy, perhaps a relationship with your children, or this could even be a relationship with yourself. There's been a lot of growth, there's been a lot going on for you. There's been this awakening to new ways, to new, again, perhaps seeing new things and becoming aware of a deeper purpose in life, a deeper meaning to life. And now I sort of get the sense that you're going to be teaching people about what you've learned, and sort of it's going to be something that brings the community together, I'm hearing. So again, this could be in many, many different ways. And as it's a general reading, that you will know what the situation relates to for you and how you're going to be bringing this to the community, bringing this to others, bringing this to your loved ones, or bringing this to yourself. It's time now to see the rewards. And again, I can see that there's been a lot of change, there's been a lot of growth, there's been a lot of situations that you've been experiencing recently, which may not have all been very comfortable for you. And in fact, it may feel now that, the speed is again something else to get used to, another thing. Perhaps you've been finding change difficult in the past. Well, you've been kind of getting used to it as these changes have been coming thick and fast. And now, again, these changes are coming. And I see a deep uncovering of things. Again, I'm seeing that you've become aware of things that had not come to light before for you. So, again, this could be in situations with friends, in situations with standing in your own power, in your own truth, in your own majesty. And we've got the Katanga Lion. Now's your moment. Step up to a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused on the bigger picture. And again, there's this sense of you stepping up into a leadership role, of you teaching and helping others through their journey, perhaps speaking to others. I'm sort of getting a sense of public speaking. Perhaps you're going to be delivering a talk or a workshop or something where you're guiding people, teaching people in different ways, in whatever is your area of growth, your area of expertise that you've been experiencing, the situations that have been true for you. And we've got the justice card. Fair decisions will be made after all the evidence is reviewed impartially. Have compassion for others and try to see all sides of a disagreement. So again, I'm getting this sense of things working out in your favor, this sense of victory, this sense of whatever it is you've been working on, whatever you've been doing. Now you're going to see the next phase. And I'm being asked to say to you to always remember the people that, the people that helped you rise to this position. So whoever it was that you may call, you know I'm hearing like, the little person, the person that people may disregard or dismiss, which they're not little at all, of course. That's just how I'm being asked to describe it, to help understand the concept of those people that help others rise to the top by their very nature, by their very role in life, by the jobs that they're doing, the um, maybe even the ways that they've triggered you and helped you master certain lessons, certain spiritual concepts, certain things within your reality. There's this sense of us now being asked not to forget those people, not to forget those who've helped you rise to the top, even the ones that you think have hindered you. Actually, can you see that in some small way they've helped you rise, because perhaps they've initiated your sense of determination, or they've initiated your sense of needing to really put yourself first, or step up and set some boundaries, or assert your power, whatever it is. All of these people in your life that have come in as teachers, as guides, and even the ones that don't appear to be teachers, well, everyone's teaching us in some way, shape, or form. And you're being asked to remember these people, to have mercy, to have compassion, to have gratitude, to be humble in this rising. So for some, there's a sense of travel. I'm getting a sense of visiting another country, and that being part of this journey, this growth. Perhaps this is a job upgrade. Perhaps this is a job you've been working for that's now you're being taken to the next level. You've been promoted. The next steps are coming in, because I feel it's a step up. I feel it's a step into the new. And whatever's been going on for you, so if there has been any injustice, or there have been any situations where there's been unfairness, or people have been difficult with you or for you, these are now going to be resolved. So even if you can't see these being resolved, life is going to resolve them. Life is going to bring them into balance. And those situations are going to be rectified. And as I turned over this deck to shuffle it, I immediately saw this card of Treasure Island. You've perhaps taken quite a long journey on your own and it's felt lonely. Perhaps it's been a journey where you've had to be very self-sufficient. You've had to call upon all of your reserves to help you get to where you're getting to today. And that hasn't been a wasted journey for you. You're now receiving the treasure. You're now being given the treasure. And I can see you've been working really hard, and not all of that work has been seen or noticed by others. And that could be part of where you feel there's been injustice, where you feel these situations have been difficult and perhaps not been fair, or not been noticed, all of the hard work you've been doing underneath the surface, behind closed doors, or maybe into the night, when everybody else had left the office, or whatever this is for you. And again, it will be different for everybody. All of this hard work you've been doing, all of this effort, this deliberation, this commitment that you've put in, is now going to be seen. It's now going to be rewarded, and you're going to reap the treasure and the fruits of your labor, so to speak. So this really is a very, very positive message, and I'm so excited for you and so pleased for you, to see what is going to be coming through for you. And again, there's this sense that you've been working really diligently, you've been faithfully and steadfastly, making sure that there's a saying, dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. You've been really working hard to get everything done just the way that it needed to be, to reach this place that you're now going to be, this leadership role that you're now going to be stepping into. And there's a sense of where it's been going quite slow before, and perhaps it's taken a long time. Now it's going to be speeding up. And this is lovely. We've got the milk and honey, the pot at the end of the rainbow. So again, this couldn't be more positive, really, for anything that you've been going through, that you really have been feeling unnoticed or unseen in, whether a relationship, whatever it is for you. Now is going to be a new time of new growth. This is the rainbow after the storm. This is the delights, the rewards, the good times. The good times are here, I'm hearing. And the milk and honey, it's a very comforting, a very soul comforting idea. Even if the actual reality is maybe not your cup of tea, it's the idea of it is a very lovely one, of sweetness, of happiness, of contentment, of soul satisfaction. So that is what I'm seeing the next phase bringing in for you, the next phase that is coming. So anything you've been doing, you're now going to be seeing what's coming in next. And there's just a little message now of, just making sure that you find the moments and the time and the energy to look after yourself in all of this, where you've been working very, very hard. Remember to carve out, little moments for self-care, for looking after you, for making sure that you're not overworking and you're not working yourself so hard that you're unable to enjoy the little delicacies of life, the the enjoyments that we also came here to experience, those moments of joy, those moments of pleasure, those moments where you get to actually reward yourself or treat yourself in some way, shape, or form, however that is for you. So just make sure that you are making time and asking for help from others to just take some of the workload off, because I can see you've been working so hard. Now is the time to just really also allow for some relaxation, some moments within all of that to just maybe even just be with your soul tribe, to be with those people that mean a lot to you, especially if there's been difficulties and challenges with some, to really reach out to the ones that feel like home, the ones that your soul longs for and calls for, just to help you, just to support you, and just to enable you to really not get too tired and not to lose heart or become disheartened by the process. But whatever this is, congratulations. I really see um, that you deserve this, that this really is wonderful for you. So I hope that message was helpful and healing for you. Please do feel free to mention in the comments if it resonates, what's been going on for you. I'd love to hear your story if you'd like to share it. And thank you for being here. I really look forward to seeing you in the next reading.